something about when you hear another single mom that is making it happen, it gives you hope. Not the kind of wishy-washy hope, but the kind of hope that is a confident expectation of good things in your life. I call this like the lesson of one. The lesson of one is when you see a woman that has everything that you want, instead of being envious, use it as evidence that if it can happen for her, it can happen for you too. And that's why I'm so excited to introduce you to a fellow single mom collective community member. We have this great online community of single moms. We meet together and we help each other out with money and health and wellness and kids and exes and relationships. And she is an incredible member and has graduated pretty much from the Metamorphosis Method coaching program. And she's also a service member in our military that's been servicing our country and serving our country, I should say. So meet Felicia. Thank you so
Hi.
much for coming on the podcast.
Hey.
I'm so excited. So I want to hear a little bit more about your single mom story and then go into how you changed everything and how the Single Mom Collective really helped that momentum. So first, let's get to we don't have to go into all the deets, but it's good to know that someone's not alone. So tell me, how'd you become a single mom? And how long have you become a single mom?
Well, um, separation happened almost 5 years ago, and
Okay.
I moved back home and had to move in with mom. And I had a cosmetology license at the time, and it was during COVID, like the very beginning of COVID, and uh, I was making good money, but I wasn't thinking forward. I wasn't thinking like what I was gonna do. How I was gonna get out of mom's house. I was just enjoying taking care of my kids and I guess the newfound freedom that I had. And so one day I had to sit down and decide like, what am I gonna do to be able to buy a house? What am I going to do to be able to provide and not barely make ends meet? Because living on your own, you have to make all of that on your own. So I joined the military, and at the time it was single moms had to go in as a reservist.
Mhm.
So it didn't give me the money I was looking for at the time, but over time I was able to put in for deployment. So I just got back from
Wow.
deployment, and a lot of things are looking up financially.
Amazing. Amazing. So, and how old, you have two girls. How old are your
Yes.
girls?
8 and 12, Ava and Navy.
Ava and Navy. And you went for a full year without seeing your girls on deployment.
Yes, it was almost a year. I
Yeah.
was gone. I did 3 months in Port Hueneme for pre-mobilization. So I was able to go visit them. That was the time
Okay.
I met you in person
Yeah.
in those 3 months. And then I was in country for 6 months and then demobilized until February 26th.
Amazing. She just recently came back. So, one of the benefits, the Single Mom Collective is an international organization. We have women in the US and Canada. We have members in Great Britain and Australia. And it just so happened when I met Felicia, when she told me where she was from, I was like, that's where I live too, in a little town in Rockland, California. We're suburban Sacramento, California. And when she came to my house for the 4th of July,
Mhm.
so you're I think so far, not the, I've met plenty of clients in person, but you're the only one that's been to my home, which is very special to me. And I mean, I would be open to anybody coming to my home. It just so happened that you're there. So,
Yes.
which was really incredible. So she's very special to my family. And so what I love about it, Felicia, is she is a determined woman. And by going on this deployment, how much debt did you pay off?
Well, not including
Okay.
the not including the debt that I
Yeah.
got like from the lawyer I had to hire
Yeah.
because of my ex-husband and all the regular things. I had a little more than $18,000 in debt that I paid
Wow.
off completely.
Yes. And part of that was the structure and the plan of Metamorphosis Method and the Single Mom Collective that helped you. So let's
Yes.
go into that. So
Hmm.
you joined the Metamorphosis Method about a year ago, maybe a little bit less than a year ago.
Right on port when I was in
Yeah.
pre-mobilization, I saw your
Yeah.
Instagram.
Okay, and she joined the community. Before we started working together, what would you say was your biggest challenge and how was that impacting your life?
I would say having confidence in the decision making, in the goals, the whole dream big, don't dream small, rewarding yourself for meeting goals, the 3 6 12. That was really helpful, putting that up while I was on deployment. And I'm like, how do I reward myself on this? And then you mentioned going to Lululemon and a shopping trip. So I spoiled myself after I met each of those goals.
In Metamorphosis Method, we have a saying, and we said, let's agree to be done dreaming small with our single mom lives. And part of it in the beginning, when you first become a single mom, it feels like it's so focused on unraveling the past. Like lawyers are really good at unraveling your past, right? But then what do you do? And that's where I think metamorphosis comes in is okay, well, now let's plan a future. So we plan a 3 month, a 6 month, and a 12-month goal, a SMART goal. And then we add a reward when we achieve each goal because it's a lot more fun. We're like, yes, I did it. I get to celebrate. So that's a little bit about what Felicia is talking about. So that really helped you, that structure?
It did. It kept me
Yeah.
like, it was visual every time I woke up. I walked by it every day and I was able to mark it off when I got it. I'm like, oh no, now I gotta go shopping.
So can you share? Are you willing to share your 3 month, 6 month, and 1 year goal?
It's been so long. I remember the
I
first
know.
one was to pay off the debt.
And done. You paid 18K off it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
the other one was to save. I had to put $10,000 in a high yield savings program because we were talking
Yep.
about that in
Hmm.
one of our financial classes.
Hmm.
So I did some research and I found the best option to do that, and I still have that 10,000 compounding right now, and
Yay.
that was the other goal. Try to remember the last goal.
I think you're using that, the last goal, to buy your own home.
Yes.
And so we
Hmm.
now have that down payment. That's inspiring. That's so like if Alicia can do it, you can do it too, right? Like that's what I want women to hear in your
Right.
stories. So, can you describe the moment when you feel like okay, things are starting to change for the better?
It's like I have to remind myself what I'm capable of because sometimes you get stuck into the I can't do that. But then I called the United Veterans contact number and they're like, "Oh, well, your credit is at 726." I'm like, "I did that?" Like,
Nice.
I
Yeah.
just the things that I didn't realize that I wanted so bad and it would take so long to get there, it's like already happening.
So it's when you called and you're like, wait, I increased my credit score and I'm here and I can qualify for a loan to buy a house on my own for my two daughters. Talk.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I have to tell you, first, my dad wanted to help me with buying the house. So when I called, she gave me options, a loan with me, just me and my VA loan, a loan with my dad, a loan with me and my dad, purchasing a duplex. And the only one I chose was to do it on my own. And I was so proud of that because one, I didn't need the help. And I
Yeah.
thought, oh, I would need help. He's offering help. I should take it. It'll make it easier. No, it's going to save me money just doing it on my own.
Good for you. Good for you. So I'm kind of jumping around, but I'd like to quantify things. I think that helps. So let's quantify your results from like before metamorphosis and then now after. What we know paying off debt. I'm curious about anything else. What specific results would you say you've achieved since you and I started working together?
Well, I've taken control in my conversations with my ex-husband, and he absolutely hates it.
Because you're not, should we talk about we're not showing emotion,
Right.
being very we're gray rocking, we're being very intentional. Like you can't use it against you anymore, right?
Yes, it's just so funny how he tries to make all the things up and I don't he is not happy that I don't email back to these long crazy emails. I don't
Right.
engage on anything that has nothing to do with my girls. And then if he has a problem, my lawyer can talk to his lawyer. And so it's just yes, having your calls every week, I'm reminded, okay, I don't need to engage. I'm not who he says I am and just those kind of reminders, it's so much easier. It's not always perfect, but having that support helps so much.
I created the support group that I wished I would have always had when I first became a single mom. We talk about not RSVPing yes to every fight you're invited to. Is that the thing that helps you with keeping the peace with your ex and not having that affect your emotions?
It just keeps peace in myself. I don't have to respond to his
Right.
fight. So yeah.
Good for you. So, how did some of these changes in your life make you feel? Like, okay, I actually know now how to deal with these rough conversations with my ex. What did it mean for you and your family emotionally?
What did it mean for me?
How did it make you feel
It's
differently?
just
Yeah.
some internal growth that I had to deal with and learn how to not let it affect me because I know who I am. So really built a lot of confidence and it makes me feel, it's so weird to say, but it makes me feel like more of a woman. Like I'm more of a confident woman that can handle it. And I moved out. I left him for a reason. I'm not gonna let him affect my home
Mhm.
now.
I love that. Tell me more about that. Why do you feel like a more confident woman?
Well, I guess when I got divorced, my process for dating was to find that missing puzzle piece. And I don't like having the talks with you about it's important to become more financially, independent and being able to date someone where you're not looking for the husband that can support you. You're looking just for the partner that makes you happy. That was I'm not I've never not worked, but I've always had him in the background to be able to support me if I needed
Mhm.
it. And I don't ever want to put myself in that position again.
Right.
I don't need to be in that position again. I'm happy to be an example to my girls and to be the provider, and if the right person comes along that fits with our family just for who they are, not for what they bring to the table.
Right. I always say they're the sprinkles on top of the cupcake. Like, yeah, that you have made. No, we all want an equal partnership is studies show it's the highest level of happiness for a woman. And
Hmm.
we make better choices in a partner when we're not choosing a partner because we have to be with them. And we're not
Right.
staying with a partner because we have to be with them. We're making better choices for us and our children because we're choosing the partner that we get to be with.
Mhm.
And then we model this great example. We always say inside the Single Mom Collective, our online community, that I probably repeat myself over and over again, but whatever, say we're becoming the heroes of our own story and the kind of mom that our kids will brag about.
Oh, I love that line. That's like
Yeah. Do you?
that gets my heart every time you say it. Like I want my kids to
Yeah.
feel like they're proud of me and they aren't ashamed and they are always saying how proud they are of me. It's like the
Of
best
course.
feeling, you know?
We don't want them to see their mothers as victims.
Right.
Just because we became single mothers, we're not playing the victim role. We're playing the hero role. And I think that's the difference of joining a group of other women that are on the same path. Like saying,
Mhm.
no, we're refusing to be victims of our circumstances. We're going to be heroes in despite of them, in spite of them, I should say. So let me ask you this. Can you share maybe another breakthrough or a win you had from being a part of the Single Mom Collective? We know you had a breakthrough with your ex. We know you've had a breakthrough with your finances for sure. Were there any other breakthroughs from trying to do single mom life on your own and then joining the collective and having our support?
Well, in the metamorphosis, you talk about like dreaming big and, your why. And so being able to like think that out and process it and write it all down. And I think that just gave me a really clear picture of what I wanted. And it's not just a dream, it's something I'm already working towards now. And so I've made I mean, there's so many classes you have. Like the last one they're so good. Um, the magnetic one. There's the one, the ladder of believability. I think that's
Yeah.
absolutely beautiful. I really like how picky you're teaching us to be, you know.
When it comes to dating?
Yes, and it makes like the list of what I hated about dating apps was how many people were there. Too many to sift through. So when you put the filter on, it's like, oh, I just went through the three that came in today. All right. At least it's less overwhelming. And I'm putting dating on hold, yes. But now I know, like, when I'm sifting through all these people, that the filter has already filtered out everything I don't
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
So,
And she's putting dating on hold because you just got back from deployment and you're
yeah.
with your girls and that's the other thing we talk about. It's like when we're with our kids, that's our full focus. And a high value partner will understand, listen, I don't date when it's my weekend and my time with my children. Like I will make that time when I'm free. Here's the dates that I'm free. Yeah. And that's really a good weed out. It's like
If
if
they're
somebody doesn't respect that, then there's no way that's going to work. Right. Yeah.
exactly.
Good for you. So, if you were to recommend this program to another single mom friend or a single mom family member, what would you say?
You know, I've seen single moms struggle, tell me about like how their divorce is going and what's happening. And I
Mhm.
feel like having someone to guide you and give you that confidence. And you said it like, this is what I'm dealing with. And just having not only Amanda's classes, but like the women that are super supportive, they've gone through it, a community. It's not just a bunch of women getting together to gossip. It's like learning to to turn your life around, learning how to be the woman you want to be, that you have inside of you that you don't realize is there. It's learning to put yourself first in the right times, that you put yourself on the back burner. And it's not gonna, investing in yourself is worth so much right now, where like, you know, what if I didn't do that over the deployment and I was depressed and I spent my money on Amazon and I just didn't make these goals and I didn't make all these plans that gave me like every day I could make, okay, what can I do to make sure this happens? And just setting up your whys and how you're going to get there, and having coming I'm enjoying these, being back in the meetings and just like being involved in all the classes and taking all the notes and just talking to you, being able to text you when I have a question. I love that. I'm overwhelmed, so let me ask
Yep.
Amanda. The simplest things, to where your family has their opinions on your dating life or your
Yeah.
work, but it's you, it's not your parents that are, from the age that they grew up in, and it's a different time, and we don't have to be sad and alone when it's time for you to date. Like all those little things. There's so many things I could just go on and on.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, and I think it's scary though. This is not my line. It's somebody else's line, and I wish I could remember who said this. So don't kill me on this podcast. But it's like the whole saying about choose your hard.
Mm.
Like you can choose, like if you're in a situation, it's hard being a single mom without support. And it's hard not knowing how to deal with lawyers. How do I communicate to my ex? How do I solo parent? How do I manage my money now? And like, how do I freaking date again? This is hard. That's hard, right? Doing it alone is hard, or you could choose to invest in yourself to get all the support you need. That's kind of scary and hard too. And it's hard to say, okay, I'm going to work on myself. But I think you chose the better hard, and it ended up being making life now probably a lot easier for you. What would you say to someone who's maybe a little nervous about investing in, we have lots of different investment, you could do it month to month on just a membership level. You could get one of the courses, you could do one-on-one coaching. We have different levels, I feel like, that any single mom could be a part of. So, but what sometimes we get stuck in, I can't do anything for myself. What if I need new tires? Or what if my kid needs cleats? How would you talk to a mom who's considering whether or not she's worthy of investing in herself?
I would say, like, I understand how it feels to have to, like, you have to balance like what's important, right? And in order to be a good mom, you have to find ways to be the best you. And so this is like, it feels like counseling a lot. It feels like we're, it feels these friends that like know me and that are there for me and support me, but they have like good advice, not like advice that someone that you could get bad advice from anywhere.
Yeah.
And then you have your all these kinds of courses that you could watch like from the entire time you've been doing them. So you're getting so much. You're it's just I don't think I would be where I am right now, like inside how I think of myself, how I the confidence I have, the goals that I've reached if I didn't decide to invest in myself that day. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Thanks for trusting me. Is there anything else you wanted to share about your experience as a single mom, your experience in the collective to another mom that's listening that I didn't ask you?
I guess like knowing that Amanda is like just here to pour her heart out and into these women, like she went through it and she figured out like the steps of doing certain things, and she's still continuing like to figure out new plans for us and like new classes and how to better serve the moms. And it's just like I'm lucky that I'm near you, but you serve them just as good in other countries, and they're on the so like it's being a single mom is really hard, but if you change your mindset and you have people on your team to help you change your mindset and make these plans and make these dreams happen, it's like the light is at the end of the tunnel, and I feel like I'm there. Like I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing. Like it's hard for me to remember that sometimes, but like just talking to you, like, yeah, I did that. Yep, I did it. Yep, I'm doing it. And it's just like, wow, like I am capable and I don't need a man to do everything. I did it on my own and it just feels really good.
You should feel really good. I'm so proud of you. And
Thank you.
I don't mean to say that as a condescending woman, just as a woman who's been where you're at. And I just am so impressed by you, Felicia. And thank you for sharing your story with the Single Mom Collective because you're an inspiration. You know, you're an inspiration to all of us. And we just keep cheering you on. And I think you're just beginning. Yeah. Yeah. I can't wait for the next steps. Thanks again. If you have any questions about joining the Single Mom Collective or any of our programs, we have Metamorphosis. If you're a brand new single mom, that's the one you need. If you've been through some stuff and you're starting to date, we have Love Unlocked, which is a program to help you really protect your heart and only choose the right partners for you and your children. And we even have a parenting program called Parent Pivot. And I've even got a new one that's like not officially done yet, but Felicia's been a part of it. It's the sex one. It's called Unashamed, and how we kind of get rid of the stuff that we dealt with our ex in our past and really enter into a beautiful, committed, loving relationship that's also beautifully physically. I think that's important that we talk about as single moms too. And we talk about money, we talk about it all. So you can click the links in the show notes and you can book a free one-on-one call with me, just like Felicia did. That's how we met. And we talk about what's going on, what your needs are, and we put you in the right program that meets your needs and introduce you to the whole collective that will absolutely wrap our arms around you. So click those links in the show notes and do me a favor and share this episode with a friend. Like maybe if you're listening and you have another single mom friend that needs some encouragement, share it. Oh, and if it meant a lot to you, share something about it on your social media and tag me. I would love it. And it's not about me getting bigger. This is just about I'm on a mission to make sure that single moms have the support they need that I didn't have originally. So just let them know that there's a group of women out there that'll wrap their arms around there if they want it. Thank you.